Hello, gorgeous soul, and welcome to this epic podcast. This is a place where you are encouraged and you have absolute freaking permission to unapologetically go after all of your dreams, all of your visions, all of your things on your vision board, like everything that your heart desires. I'm your host, Angharad, the High Vibe Babe, and I believe that we're all in this life to expand and experience our wildest dreams. If one of us can have it, then we all can. So that is the aim of this podcast. Each week I'll either be going solo or have guests with the aim to inspire, uplift you and give you the tools for you to live your most epic AF life and business possible. You can find me on Instagram with the handle @HighVibeBabe. Now let's get into today's episode. Welcome to day 2 of Soul Biz Startup Crash Course. I'm so thankful and so happy to be delivering day two to you. Okay. I am feeling really excited. So my podcast, I'm also putting this up on my podcast, and if you haven't gone there yet, you can actually win entry into this course for free. If you listen to my podcast and you go on there and you do the things, you screenshot and do some things and put on your stories and some really cool things. So each thing is going to be an entry, which is really cool. And if you're already in, like you've already paid, then what you do is you get an upgrade to VIP. Oh my gosh, exciting. The messages I've been getting from people about my new vibe is like unreal. And I'm just so happy that you guys are like seeing and feeling the vibes that like I'm feeling too. And it makes me like so happy. Like I honestly want to, I swear to God, I have listened to my intro like 30 times today. It's because I want to listen to it again and again and again and again. I just love it so much. So anyway, you can head over there because there's so much epic things coming out there anyway, especially if you're an entrepreneur, you're into business, which you probably are. So let's get stuck into day 2. Okay, right, ladies. Okay, so once again, I wrote my notes on the airplane on the way home, which was really bumpy, by the way. It was like really bad coming out of Wellington, and the whole time I was just like, life is for me, not to me. How much can you trust? How much can you trust? How much can you trust? I swear that was the only thing that stopped me from crying, not having a meltdown, because it was the worst flight I've ever been on. It was really bad. It was very scary. So yeah, not really looking forward to flying out of Wellington ever again, but you do the things you gotta do. Who's excited for day 2? I think this is going to be like one of my favorite things to talk about. I don't really talk about it much. So I'm really glad I've decided to do this is a free launch series because I have so much epic stuff. And also one of the things I've just quickly while we're here, a lot of people talk about, this actually is relevant to you as well. So a lot of people talk about like whether or not there's this battle about whether or not you should give away your best content for free, right? Have you heard people talk about this? Some people are like, no, you don't. You just give them a tester and then, otherwise you're giving away all the stuff for free. And then the other side is like, but then people know what they're in for. And for me, I give away my best content for free, especially in this, some of my best content, because do you know why? I change at such a rapid rate that my best content today is not going to be my best content in a month. That's for damn sure. So by then it's old content anyway, because we're always growing and developing. We're on this walk. We're like investing so much time, energy, and finances. We're investing so much into ourselves and into our businesses that things are evolving and growing at such a rapid rate, especially for me. So why should we ever be scared about giving away our best content? Because it's only best today. Tomorrow, the next day, next month, next year, it's not. And it still hangs around. People can get epic training from it, technically, at this stage, forever on Facebook. Back to day 2, I'm very excited to talk about this. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is niching, all right? Have you ever wondered if you should be niching in your business? You tell me, or just if you don't have a business. Do you believe that niches are a good thing, yes or no? What do you think? Do you think you should be niching? This is a very hot topic online. I'm not sure if you're aware. It's quite polar, like really polar. And I have my opinion, but I want to start with a little bit of a background. You're probably going to think I'm crazy. So let's start with housework. What? Housework? This relates to niching? How? Yeah, it does, girl. Do you know why? Okay. Do you need a perfect house? Like it's always neat and tidy. All the things are always organized. There's got the jars and the labeling and the towels are folded the right way, and the kids' bedrooms, like, you know, you put their toys away every day, and the house is always pretty vacuumed, and it's always like available for someone to turn up at any moment. Yes, my house is done. Some of you will resonate with that. However, what about if you resonate with like, look, my house is lived in. You know, it might be all right some days, other days it might not be. If you turn up to my house, then you just got to be prepared that you might get whatever you're going to get. And, you know, it's lived in. This is a good thing. I'm not going to spend all my time doing housework. I want to spend time with my babies. Do you resonate with this? Or do you resonate with like, I just don't even care? You can think what you think when you turn up to my house, but I'm not doing my house for anyone else. I barely do my house for me, so I'm not going to do it for anyone else. I just don't care. It's not my priority. My priority is something else. How does this relate? Well, it's subjective. Some people might want the really nice house. Some people in the middle of the road, and some people are like, I just don't even care. Like, people worry about this. It's subjective to the person. And niching is exactly the same. If you want to niche, by all means, go and niche. If you don't, I don't think you have to. And I'm going to explain why. But if you don't want to niche, then you can still have a successful business without niching. The reason why I believe you don't have to niche if you don't want to, once again, you can if you want to, is because we're all so multifaceted. Like as business owners and as people, we like to bike on the foreshore. We like to do a little bit of makeup. We like to have the nice label jars in the kitchen pantry. We like to have an online business and do Reiki and get our hair done and do our eyelashes and do reviews and cook different food and do different disciplining techniques with our kids and wash our car in a certain way. Like we have so many, okay, not all of these things you may not be passionate about, but do you get what I mean? There's probably like, if you were to think of all the about in your life, there'd probably be a few. I certainly have a lot of things that I'm passionate about. So if we're multifaceted anyway and we connect on this, then why can't your business be the same? Well, it can if you want it to be. It can. If you think about big brands, they're turning more and more and more to influencers, to people like who are showing their life. Like what do influencers do? They basically share, I mean, probably vary, there's a bit of a scale, but my essence of what I've seen of influencers is they share their life and people follow them because they love their life, and then next minute people are sending them stuff and next minute people are paying them to show products, this collagen they got in the mail or this hair product that they did a review on. You know, people like that, and that's the reason why they pay these influencers, because we like to consume content that's not just a standard business anymore, because we like the world has evolved and changed. Now we have the internet. Now we can, if a CEO could show the background of their life, and people love it when they do. You think of Rachel Hollis. Do you follow Rachel Hollis? She's amazing. If you don't, like, she's incredible. But she shares so much of the background in her life. And I love that. I love seeing stuff that goes on in people's life when they're like flying away, or when their child has a tantrum, or when their child does something cute. And then like how to curl your hair, and their kitchen organization, and their bathroom renovation. Like I love to consume it all. So businesses can actually thrive by showing these things. So is it a niche? I mean, you technically could have a niche product and then share some of your lifestyle, but it doesn't have to be this typical, like, we sell jockey underwear and farmers and no one knows shit about the company or about the CEOs or the founders. Like, it doesn't have to be like that anymore. Business has changed because of the internet and so many other things. Okay, do you go to one person online for organization? You go and look at their one Instagram to learn how to organize something. And then for someone else, you go to their Instagram for recipes. And then to someone else, you go to someone else for mindset. And then a different account for spirituality, for instance. Would you say that all of these things have to exist separately from one another in Instagram? Well, I hope you say no, because I just said all the things that I share on mine. And you guys are all following, or you're all here. So I hope you can resonate with the fact that brands don't have to be niched. But if you want them to be, if you want a niche brand, if you want a perfectly tidy house, or if you want a middle of the road, or you want a I don't even care about it house, it is so subjective. It is 100% your choice and 100% in your control. But is it necessary? No. That is my opinion. Straight up, no. I'm a living example of that. And you guys being here, engaging with me and consuming my content, I think you probably get that now. Has that changed your perspective on niching now after hearing that? The next thing I want you to go through is target audience. Okay, now this leads on really nicely because we're like, well, if we're not got a niche, then, I mean, who are we even talking to? Is it just like a smash of a whole lot of crap we chuck on Instagram? Sorry, I'm a little bit passionate with my Is it just like, you know, where is the cohesion? Well, the answer is actually in who your target audience is. So, because you don't want to feel like muddled, and there's like also branding can actually work really well with this too, but I'm not going into branding today. It's like a whole nother rabbit hole, which I also really love doing work around. But your target audience is the glue for it all. So target audience, how do you decide who your target audience is? Well, my best advice is it's you. You might be like, but what? How is it me when it's someone else? Well, there's two reasons. Firstly, you're doing a soul business, right? So it has like this passion, it has this you behind it, right? Like there's something deeper than just selling some undies. I mean, maybe that's your passion, you know what I mean? Like there is you in it. So for you to be able to market to these people, that also kind of goes into magnetizing clients too, but still, for you to be able to market to people, if you have a narrow window, what happens is you speak to people and they reply by going, how can you read into my soul? And the answer is because all you're talking about or selling or I'm just talking about like in the coaching world sort of services, but still, because that's like my thing, obviously. What happens is because I'm talking about myself, but I've reframed the language to be about you, you're like, how are you saying into my soul? It's like, because this is my story. That is how it is. So you don't have to have people often when they're deciding a target audience, they're like, okay, so, you know, I could speak to men or women, I could speak to non-religious or religious people, I could speak to people with kids and without kids. I mean, I could have it all. Like, I mean, some people may not have kids. Yeah, why not? It might be, I'm selling some reusable diapers, but maybe an auntie might want to buy them. So they don't actually have to have kids. Yeah, no, they don't. No, they actually don't. I know how it feels. I have done this. But let me tell you, let you in on a little secret, okay? When we have a large target or like a large funnel, what happens is we just sound very watered down. So people go, oh yeah, I resonate with that. That's kind of cool. And just keep on scrolling. There is so much stuff these days for a start, but you don't have the strong enough pull to retain their attention. Whereas if you zone in, you read into their soul. You have a smaller target audience. Even if you had 0.1% of the population was your target audience, I should have this is channeled, so I haven't really thought about it. But, you know, say there's, I don't know my figures. Can someone help me? How many people on the planet? Let's say 1 billion. There's probably a lot more than 1 billion. I don't know what 0.1% is, but say it's 100,000. I don't know. Is 100,000 clients enough for you? Maybe. I don't know. I say $100,000 at 100 each. That's only $1 million. I don't know. Don't know if it'll be enough. Don't know. Yes, of course it is. You don't need to speak to every single person. I mean, you know. Then you can sell multiple products. Say you want to build your revenue to well over $1 million, and you sell multiple products, and then you still have 100,000 people buying from you, and they might buy 100 things in a year. So there you go. There's your $100 million, right? So, but still. It's not actually about having a wide target audience. It's about having a target audience who actually really resonate with you. And and feel this connection. You want to start a soul business. You want to start something that has soul, that has fire, that has this thing on the inside. So of course you need to zone in and be able to speak that way to your people. Okay, Sam. Oh my gosh, comments. Okay. Yes, it's so is you attract in clients for the stuff you have cleared or the stuff that resonates with you. So it makes complete sense your ideal clients to be like you. 100%. Yes. So the advice I give around attracting your soul clients, or your I call them soul clients because, we have a soul connection, right? Like we just do. Is actually people who are on your walk, so they might be 2 steps behind you, they might be 2 years behind you, or they could be 6 months, or it could be something you dealt with years ago, but basically you understand them and then you bring out a product or service or something that really helps them because you've been through that walk. That's been you might have a different take, but that's like my essence of my business is I'm helping people who were a few steps behind me, or a couple of years behind me, or 3 months behind me, whatever the timeline is, doesn't really matter. But I'm just helping someone who is just like me, and that's how I can speak to them, and that's how I can speak into their soul. And the people that don't resonate, and that's totally fine, because even if you've got 1% of the 0.1% of the population, you're going to have enough revenue to make your dreams come true, okay, girl? So don't freak out about it. Magnetizing clients, which ties in once again really well. Okay, what I want you to do is close your eyes for a minute. Just like close down your eyes. I heard that event this weekend. I'm like, that's a great idea. Close down your eyes. It feels so much more like great. I don't know why. It just does. Okay, so close your eyes and I want you to think of the most magnetizing person you've ever met in your life. Maybe you spoke to them, maybe you just passed them on the street, or maybe it's someone you know like really well, or someone like you've seen on TV or Instagram. It's just someone that you're like really magnetized towards, like you're pulled towards them. And when you've got them, just think about like the way they act, how they hold themselves, how they talk, what it feels like to be in the energy, or what you'd imagine it to be like, and how, just the essence. So you've got your person. What is it about them? Now you can open your eyes and tell me, what is it about them that you think is so, what magnetizes you to them? Type it in for me. What are the things you noticed when you're looking at this person, when you're imagining them? Is it their sureness in themselves? Is it their confidence? What about that they're like really authentic? What about their passion? That's a big one for me. Or the fact that they have weird quirks and they know it, but they just absolutely own it. Similar to the be unapologetic about whatever it is. This is how you magnetize people. You be all of these things. So these are things you value as a human in this life. It's probably connecting even on a soul level, to be honest. So if that's being true to yourself, these things you're being magnetized to, then you can also magnetize people in this way as well. This is a great indicator as to how you're meant to move through the world and things that are really important to you, because once again, when you're working on a soul business, you have an importance behind it. So the more authentic you are, the more you are yourself, the more you be true to yourself, which is doing the things that other people that you find attractive in other people, and magnetizing other people, which sort of is like I said on yesterday's live, which was around how much happier would the world be if we all did the work we enjoyed doing. Some people genuinely love being accountants. Some people genuinely love cleaning houses. Some people genuinely love graphics design. Some people genuinely love counseling people. Some people genuinely love doing Facebook Lives. How amazing would the world be if we all just did the work that our soul wanted us to do? What a different world it would be. And that is what inspires me to do my soul work, is that honestly, the reason why I do what I do is because I saw someone else doing what they want to do. I saw multiple people doing what they want to do, in fact. And it gave me the permission to look inward and be like, but so what do I want to do then? Because we can find ourselves in this pen, in this life that we feel like just happened to us. It's like, well, we didn't choose to get up in the morning and go to work. We have to because we've got to pay the bills. Like, these things just happen, and it can just feel like life is rolling over and over and over again. And one of the things that one of the people spoke about, do you guys know that charity in New Zealand that does the shoebox gift for kids? You put the stuff in the shoebox for the kid, and it like gets delivered to kids in need in New Zealand for a Christmas present. The guy who founded that charity spoke at the event that I went to this weekend in Wellington. And one of the things he said was that life is just a collection of days. That's all it is. So if you're not living your day today with intention, you're not going to live your life the way you want to. You're not going to have intention in your life. And he talks about how this guy does so much stuff. I can't even believe. And he has a full-time job, and he does so much volunteer work. It's just, he's on boards left, right, and center, and literally delivering like, I think it was like 5,000 of these gifts, arranging all of these shoe boxes for all of the schools, like a lot of schools around New Zealand. And there would be so much. Can you imagine like organizing that many volunteers and that many there would be an absolutely phenomenal amount of things to organize just for that one thing alone. And one of the things he says is what he does is he tries things that are calling him, tries things that are pulling on his soul. And what happens is if he enjoys the process enough of doing the thing, then he prioritizes the time to make it happen. That's all it comes down to. You have every day. You choose whether to prioritize it. You choose every day whether you're going to prioritize the time to do something that you want to do. Life does feel like it's happening to you, but let me tell you, it's your choice to live like that. And when I woke up to this, because I saw people talking about this, about living consciously and creating our life, and that we are creating our life, whether we are creating it just because we're allowing it to be someone else's life or something that we've just fallen into, we're just filling all these gaps, or whether we're really intentional around it and start making choices to change things, no matter what, we're still living our life, and our life is just a collection of days. If you don't live this day intentionally, you won't live your whole life intentionally. And that was like an amazing way to put it. And I just was so flabbergasted and amazing. And I'm not really sure why I went off that tangent, but hopefully it was for someone. So back to magnetizing clients. Confidence really comes from a sureness of self and your business. For instance, if you have a business that sells hats, all right? And say you don't understand the finances, you don't know what profit is, you can't do a cash flow, no one's really looking after the finances, and you don't really know where you're heading. You don't understand how it all works, the tax or something like that. There's a few ways. There's a few things that can be happening. Firstly, you're just burying your head in the sand. And you're just like, I don't know, so I'm just going to ignore it and hope it goes away. It doesn't go away. But, we try. How can you actually sell the hats? How can you put all of your energy into selling the hats? You can't, because you're out of integrity. You don't know the stuff that's going on. And what happens is then you have an energy leak. And what happens with energy leaks? It's a waste of your energy. And then you can't put everything that you need into selling your passion, which is your hats. Maybe they have a cool quote or something like that. Fine. Don't know. Someone maybe has a hat business. Who knows? But what I mean is that when we have a business, it's all fine and well and lovely to have a soul business. But if there's things that we're avoiding, if there's things that feel hard and then we go and avoid them and bury our head in the sands, then we're losing part of our precious energy. How much more profit could you make with that energy? How much more of time could you spend on yourself with that energy? How much more time could you spend with your family with that energy? There's just an energy leak that's just disappearing into space because you're avoiding something that you can get help around and you can get training around. The human of wealth is exactly that. You're training. If finances are an energy leak for you, then this is the course for you. the other option is, instead of doing this course, the other thing you could do is, if you have access to money or you want to prioritize the money, you're like, look, I just never want to deal with this stuff, then you 100,000% do have an option to outsource this work. Totally. You could hire an accountant or a business. You could partner with someone even who does this stuff, or you could hire a business manager or a person who does some office work at home. Or like, there's a lot of options you can. If you want to outsource this work and you're like, look, I ain't never going to be able to do this. This just is not my jam. I never really want to learn about it. I just want to focus on this. Then totally, that is amazing. 100% support you in that. But if you're going, look, I'm a startup business, I really want to learn these things myself so I understand it when I'm running a 6-figure business and my accountant is passing my profit and loss or my asset schedule. I want to be able to read this stuff and be able to compare it and understand and have the comprehension so that I know where I'm heading. Or I don't have the resource to spend this amount of money, or it's not something I want to spend the money on. Even if you do have the resource, it's not something that I want to choose to spend my money on. Then the Human of Wealth is definitely an excellent stepping stone for you, because we go over so many of the actual backgroundy stuff that can be really difficult to understand in the beginning of a business. Plus, you get to pull your head out of the sand and actually look at these things, so you plug your energy leak, and then guess what? Your soul goes, yes, now we have more energy for our actual soul's calling, because we're not wasting it. For me, I know plugging my energy leaks has been, like, honestly phenomenal for my business. Like, amazing. Hiring a cleaner and extra childcare have been, like, at my time, different points where my energy leaks, and hands down, like, the best financial results I've ever had. I'm always here to answer questions. Like, I love to have a good jam sesh about anything, any of my programs, anything you want to know. So the Human of Wealth begins on the 4th of December, which is on Wednesday, and it's $111. I'm so happy. I'm so excited. And if you wanna come into this group, all you do is you message me and I send you a payment link. And if you want to do payment plans, you can send me messages on. We can have a chinwag about that. And yes, thank you so much for joining me on day 2 of this training. I will see you again day 3. Bye. If you have enjoyed this episode, I would adore if you would screenshot it, chuck it up on your stories with your favorite takeaway moment, and tag me at High Vibe Babe on Instagram so that more people can see this and get this content and get this message out there to really shape and change and impact other people's lives. Do you desire to be around more high vibe women who really get you, who encourage you, who support you no matter what? Yeah, well, guess what? I have a place that you belong. It is called High Vibe Babes Community. It is a free Facebook group, and I would love to have you in there. There are so many free trainings and epicness in this group, so please get your booty in there. It would mean the world if you would subscribe to this podcast, do the reviews, the rating, the stars, all of the things. Thank you so much for being here. I cannot wait to chat with you on the next episode. I'm sending you all of the vibes and all of the love. Over and out from Angharad, the High Vibe Babe.